There's always a question in the mind of everybody that what is healthy? What do we eat? Because sometimes even water is contaminated. Sometimes doctor says don't eat this, don't eat that. There is a lot of confusion and people start Googling and they're not able to find the right answer. The right answer is right there in front of you. Just eat the natural food. Don't eat the packed food. Simple as that to start with. Avoid all the packed foods. Or get all your vegetables and fruits, everything directly from the farm rather than getting it from a packed food in any supermarkets. We are all more for comfort nowadays. So we order and get it at home. We don't know where they source the materials from, how much of chemical is added, how much of preservatives are added. So we don't know. But without knowing it, we consume and finally end up with doctors and medicines and laboratories. So that's not at all a good sign for a healthy future. So first, start natural good food. Farm-based food is what we generally say. Avoid packed foods and avoid bakery items. Simple as that. There starts. Then only all your dieting, your customization happens. But initially, avoid packed foods. Simple as that. Hope it clarifies many of your queries in mind. See, after all, this life is all about living. When it comes and talks about living, that means eating is a major part of it. So there is no point in starving or restricting too many things, which is right there in front of you. Especially during festive season, it's very difficult to avoid good food, all mouth-watering sweets. But what we can do from our side is, again, I repeat, eat the right food. Instead of white sugar, add jaggery or palm sugar. Those kind of changes. Instead of white rice, start using millets. So with the same kind of sweet you can make, only the ingredient changes. Slight change will be there in a taste. That's it. Rest all remains the same. Still you are having the sweet. Still your palate is full with different dishes. But only thing, we are eating right. Without any hesitation, you can aramse sit and enjoy your festival along with your relatives if you are going to cook it with the right food. Mainly because we will be using a lot of oil during the festival season, right? So it's better to go for a cold pressed oil, and that too, every nook and corner has a cold pressed oil. But you don't know what kind of seeds get into that cold press, right? So that's where we need to figure out how chemical free we can become as far as our intake is concerned, which is going to, activate the whole mechanism of our body. So start using cold press oil, which is chemical free, and predominantly coconut oil. That is the best of all, rather than using your groundnut or any packed palm oil. So many varieties are there right at your doorstep. But instead of that, if you go for cold pressed oil, especially coconut oil, that's awesome. It gives a taste. So much of value addition. It gives a taste. It's good for health. You can still fry items and do it. So why don't you choose the right oil? Why don't you choose the right ingredient and still go ahead and enjoying your festival? So go for it. See, weight loss. When we talk about weight loss, it's a huge topic. Rather than weight loss, I tend to mention it only as fat loss, because weight is more predominantly is a cosmetic issue. Either they look thin or fat, it's only a cosmetic issue. It doesn't matter at all. But what is inside matters a lot. So when I say, for example, I want to reduce my fat, it becomes more of your active lifestyle and a healthy eating. When it becomes weight, we are more concerned on the number which is shown on the weighing machine. That is not the right way of doing it, because it stresses you more. Because, for example, you are working out for a month, and after a month, you go check the weighing machine and it shows you 500 grams more than what you were weighing before. You feel so depressed, so stressed out. Man, I've been working out so much, still no results. That's it. You'll get demotivated and all your gym going or physical activity will go for a toss.
That's where stress comes in. So that's why we always insist on fat loss, because when we do a proper physical training, when you are active at least for 45 minutes to 1 hour in a day, which is suitable for your capabilities. For example, for some people running is good, for some people cycling, for some people swimming, for some Zumba, it can vary accordingly, but basically you need to understand what is the capacity you have, what is your capability, what are the ailments you are having, and based on that, it's always better to choose the right form of fitness and go ahead and doing it, so that you will see a better result. Along with that, if you are going to combine the diet, which is your customized meal plan, what is the protein content in your day-to-day intake, what is the vitamins, how much of minerals, how much of carbs, how much of good fat. So if you're going to give a balance of all this along with your physical activity, there is going to be a fat loss, there is going to be a transformation, there is going to be a motivation to get into an active lifestyle because you're seeing the result. So automatically, those are all byproducts. Once you are active for 45 minutes to 1 hour in a day, once you are eating right, you don't have to keep checking your weighing machine. You don't have to keep checking your BMIs. You just have to keep going on and on and on with your regular fitness regime. Rest of the things like your fat loss, toning, physique, and all that is a byproduct of whatever good time, physical time you are spending, whatever right food you are eating, that is all a byproduct. So you don't have to worry too much about your weight. So worry about your fat. See, as I mentioned earlier, during the festive season, there is going to be sweets, there is going to be oil, but all these are in the right form. Instead of, white sugar, if you use palm jaggery, palm sugar, and then instead of white salt, if we use mountain salt, instead of regular packed oil, when we are going to use coconut oil, all these changes you are already doing. You have enjoyed your festivity. So post that, just continue of eating right with a controlled diet, like proper food. You should not be like, eat only one apple a day, so that whatever you had already would have got released. Nothing like that. It's just a myth. If the fat goes in, it just settles. Unless or until you do physical activity, unless or until you eat right, this is not going to be coming down. So it's okay if you're going to eat, but with consciousness, but with a regular fitness regime. Then things will fall into place. Basically, it's an understanding between my viewers and myself. It's a secret. Okay. Do the workout, eat anything you want. Simple. So during festival season, one is prepare it with all right ingredients. That is the same thing I'm going to insist on, because that is the only hold for us not to starve away from festive food. So add all the ingredients in a healthy way, the natural one, chemical free one, then you can still have it. Another one, always have a restriction. For example, your family, a bunch of people are coming in, so you're used to making 5 to 6 sweets or 10 sweets during the festival season. Just try to reduce it, make only 2 sweets, make more of vegetables, more of kurmas, more of sabjis, increase the amount of vegetables and the varieties. Make it as your, platform to talk big about your recipes. That's okay. Sometimes it's good to boost up. Yeah. So that in that way, you can avoid the amount or number of sweets you're going to have it on your palate. The other thing is, because it's a festival, don't stop your physical activity. Whatever said and done, we don't forget to brush our teeth because it's a Vinay Chavithi, correct? We are not going to stop bathing because it's Diwali. Still, we are going to do all this. These are all necessities. It's a must. Without anybody telling you, without anybody guiding you, we are doing it, right? So that's how a physical activity has to be. So don't put it on the back seat because it's a festival. We are in India. There are going to be list of festivals which is going to happen season after season. So there's no point in stopping our physical activity. So keep doing it. That is one big thing. And one more thing is, if if my viewer is a female or any male who's become a part of the kitchen in cooking, once you take a step, your kids follow you. So let us be a right role model for our kids by eating healthy, by not junking us up. Avoid frying, last but not the least. Avoid frying items. Try to saute it. Still, you get the flavor. Still, you feel that it's fried. So, avoid deep frying. So, right ingredients, continue with your physical activity, don't stop it, and avoid deep frying. Choose the oil accordingly. See, finally, what is take home thing is you need to avoid all the whites in your preparations, white rice, white sugar, and all that. So make your oil coconut oil or at least a cold press oil, so that whatever you are taking in is also healthy. Avoid fried items as much as possible. Avoid fried items. Next one is the sweets, because festival means sweets. We can't avoid sweets. So reduce the number of sweets you are making. For example, 5, 6 sweets you are making, make only one or two. And then no stopping your physical activity. Either it's Diwali or Pongal or anything, Ayudha Puja. Please go ahead in spending that 45 minutes for yourself. Then you do whatever you want. Working out, it's a scary word for many people because they think immediately, dumbbells, barbells, and deadlift. The thought of it make them, oh my god, should I have to go? All these are there, correct? And one more thing is, when you have to step out for your workout, you need a lot of motivation from inside. Either that's why we always recommend you be a part of one positive group who is like, any day they will work out. Even on Saturdays, Sundays, they don't want the gym to be closed. So be in that positive vibe, be in that positive crowd, so that you also get equally motivated. Self motivation is very, very important. If you don't want to step out for the gym, you say, no, I will do whatever I want at home. Still, I'm saying, cling on to one group is always a greater motivation wherever it is. Do along with your friends, do along with your family, because during this period, during this lockdown, day one, we have not shut down even a single day. We were on throughout with the online support for all our online clients. Whoever was coming with us before, we were supporting them through online, not necessarily with weights, not necessarily without weights, however they want, we were supporting them. Main thing is, if that goes for a toss, if that there is a break, then the excuse comes in, the lethargic sets in. Slowly all this kind of sedentary lifestyle will take up a top place. So we should not be allowing that. So get self motivated. What we are going to spend time is for our own self. It's not for anybody else. And as I mentioned always, this is not for today. It's for our better tomorrow. Nobody wants to step into hospital, right? Anybody loves to go to hospital? Anybody here who wants to get into X-ray room and MRI room and say, "Wow, I'm here, right? At last." Nobody's happy. Do you feel happy in gulping colorful medicines across morning, afternoon, evening with a full box of it? Nobody wants it. If you don't want all this, what you have to do? We have to take care of ourselves. Simple as that. How do we take care? Either we do a physical activity in whatever form we want, and then do little bit of diet control here and there. I think that's it. We are not necessarily have to do so much. Only these two, 45 minutes to 1 hour for a day for your physical activity, and eat right. Simple as that. So get that motivation at least from home. There are a lot of opportunities now. You have got a lot of YouTube channels to follow. You have got a lot of online sessions to follow. So much is there. Just try to hang out with few of the friends, not necessarily for movies or watch serials and all that, right? Even for this, you can gang up and do, let us see how many burpees you can make. Let me see how many burpees in a minute. So keep challenges on, so that you get positively impacted with each other, inspire each other. That's the way to take it up. Over a period of time, once it becomes a practice, then it becomes a regime. You don't need anybody else. You will do on its own because you would have seen the progress by then. That's when sustainability comes. At least for 3 to 6 months, if you are able to sustain in your regime, either you are doing indoors or outdoors or whatever, you're going to gym, you're going to CrossFit, you're going to do online, anything for that matter. If you're going to sustain it for 3 months, it becomes your habit. Then you don't need anything, you don't need any external push. You will definitely do on your own because you would have seen the progress by then. People would have identified, hey, guy, you're doing something for yourself. You look different. You look confident. That really boosts us up. That's the way to do it. See, as far as the physical activity is concerned, time is never a constraint because there are people who don't have time at all. Of course, 24 hours is same for all, but at the same time, there might be some profile, who need to be on the feet, on the road, or on the travel. They won't have much of time. So, those cases, even high intensity of 30 minutes is good enough. Otherwise, if you feel you have time, 45 minutes to 1 hour. See, too much, we are not asking you to do. Too much of anything is bad. So we might get injured also if we are going to do too much. So 45 minutes to 1 hour is a decent time. If you still feel you don't have time so much, half an hour of high intensity, which is like focused training, what you need if you're going to do it with the proper guidance, that is good enough. Because then it becomes an excuse. I don't have time, only 30 minutes. What can I do in 30 minutes? Baba, you can change ulta vulta in 30 minutes. So please go ahead. Even if it is 15 minutes, squeeze it, do something. Even 10 minutes ab workout is there. 10 minutes six pack workout is there. A lot of things are there. So just do it. That's it. Frankly, I don't want to demotivate the guys who are, totally on their mind to do 10,000 steps, 20,000 steps. I don't want to demotivate them. At the same time, I also want to tell the truth that walking is not very effective. Even though we feel that we have done a kind of exercise, wow, I did 45 minutes of walking, but still, it also depends on the age. For example, if I'm 70 or 75, that means I need a mobility. For me, it's always better to keep on the move instead of, sitting and then struggling with my knee problem, back problem, and all that. If I'm 45, if I'm 50, that's not the age to walk. We have to do little more to keep us active, to keep us better for the future. So it is good because it is little away from the couch. Nobody is on the couch, so they are able to make 10,000 steps. But I'm saying it can be on the side, not the main exercise for the day.